One of my favorite aspects about the Scan and Cut is that it allows me to bring my crazy ideas to life. May Flom here, and today I'm going to show you how I drew a little cactus, just a simple little cactus quick sketch, and then went over it in darker pen. And this is going to be my inspiration. I just wanted a quick little cactus, and I thought I could hand draw it, and I certainly could. Now the Scan and Cut, I do the darker line because I just find, especially something simple like this, when I know exactly what I want the machine to cut out, having a clear dark line really just helps the machine see what we're doing. So we're going to go into Scan, and we're going to Scan to Cut data, and we're creating a cut file. And it is this easy because there is a built-in scanner. We just scan it right in, as you can see there. Select that we just want the outline. And then if you wanted to adjust how sensitive it is, if you want to adjust the smoothing, if you want to ignore tiny objects because there's little scratches on your paper, you can do all of that. And once you're ready, you're happy with it, you're going to save it to your machine, to a USB drive, however you would like to save the file. Now, once it's saved, I've got my own little cactus, and I could do as many of these as I like, hand-drawn, super fun, super easy and quick, and I didn't have to, say, weld any digital designs or do anything else like that to get to this point. And that's really helpful to me because I really like being hands-on, and sometimes I just like to doodle. So I've gone back in, this was saved to my machine, pulled it up, and now I'm resizing it. And you notice that little blue up and down button and left and right button there? That button, if it's pressed, it's only going to adjust the width or the height. It's not going to adjust both, which will just allowed me to make my fat cactus a little skinnier. I wish it was that easy in real life. And once I've done that, I'm done. Or am I? I keep thinking that I want a little flower on this. So instead of being done, I'm going to go ahead and say okay, but I'm going to click add. And this is going to let me add files. And I'm going to take a look at the flowers because I always start with the built-ins to see if there's a built-in design that fits what I want. And there just isn't one that I think is just right for what I want, for the look that I'm going for. So instead, I'm just going to go back and go into the basic shapes because I know there's a little petal shape in here that works really well for flowers. And I'm going to be cutting everything out of felt. So I also know that I want a nice, simple, clean shape. I find that with felt, the simple, clean shapes really turn out nicely. So once I've got this, I'm going to go ahead and edit right here. And I know I want it to be, well, I thought I wanted it to be about 1 inch high because you can see the direction of the petal where it's saying width. That's actually going to be the tip to tip of my petal. So if I do it around 0.8 inches, then it's going to be less than 2 inches across. And I think that's enough. But I'm going to learn that it's, well, I would have liked it a little smaller, but that's okay. Because for something like this, if I don't measure exactly and I'm just kind of testing an idea out, I don't stress if it's a little bigger than I imagined or a little smaller than I imagined. But what we could always do is save this or just make note and go back in and make things smaller, cut a second time, save our petals for another time. And I'm getting a little ahead of myself. You'll see what I'm doing here. Oh, I'm just noting, because I had such a small amount of things to cut, I didn't have to scan my mat in. I just took 2 6x6 pieces of felt, cut them out as you see here, and now I'm laying it out. So I cut 6 petals, but as I get on here, I think maybe just 4 is all I want. And I'm just kind of putting together with a little yellow button. You see I have a paper tag there that I'm using as my base for this. Now, you can adhere this a lot of different ways. I'm just going to use just a little bit of dry adhesive, and then I'm going to get a needle and thread, and I'm going to add little spikes to my cactus friend. You can also kind of faintly see a little smile and some eyes because I gave him a little face. I don't know. I saw something, it just made me think that it would be fun to make a little cactus with a face. And so off I go. I am stitching up just little here and there. Just a little spike here, a little spike there. I like to go really light, and then if I want more stitching, I can come back in and do more stitching. And when I get a point where there's a few all over, then I'm going to add my petals. Now you might notice the one arm is off and it's a little wobbly. I'm going to later back that with cardstock just to make sure that it stays nice and secure. The purpose of this tag is for a gift for a little Valentine. So I do want it to be a lot of fun, but I don't want to stress out too much about things being just perfect or, you know, if everything turned out exactly the way I envisioned in the start, because I'm having fun here. I'm testing out materials and combinations, and I'm trying new things. And when it comes to crafting and all of that, you're definitely going to want to be open to that. So I'm adding some little French knots here for his eyes, and then I'm going to add some little stamps. I'm going to add some more little French knots to make more little flower buds on him, and I'm also going to add some little glitter glue and some fibers at the top, and off we go. I absolutely love how this turned out. I hope you enjoyed this little tutorial video. If you have any questions or requests for future videos, always feel free to leave me a comment and be sure to subscribe so you don't miss any videos. I'll see you next time.